Welcome into another edition of Diamond Talk on the Southeastern Sports Network. Now joined by Coach Zach Crabtree. Coach, you got to be feeling pretty good right now. Last two conference series, you take 3 of 2. Plus, you're coming off of a run rule win over Northeastern, former Southeastern rival. Just your thoughts on the way your guys are finally starting to mesh, it looks like.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. It's kind of one of those things you look for as a coach. It's rewarding. Our guys are kind of buying into the culture that we've been trying to establish the last year and a half. And it's all playing about the team and not worrying about individual stuff. We've had guys step up and kind of be leaders that we didn't have early, and they're just, we've had some injuries. We've just had the next guy step up, and it's just it's been a good 2 weeks. We just hope to keep going. We got some things we still need to work on. We left a lot of guys on base yesterday at Northeastern, and didn't execute some things that could have been a little bit worse to score. And then we walked too many guys. At one point they had 5 runs on 1 hit yesterday. And so, we made some errors in Game 3 against Southwestern that kind of gave them, I think it was 5-3 the final score. And in my book, 4 of the runs were unearned because of errors that led to extending innings and putting guys on base. And so a lot of things we can work on. Our conference starters, again, all 3 did a great job getting deep into games. And Whit Marsh being the GAC pitcher of the week, was outstanding. And so, we just got to keep pitching the ball well. And we're, like I told you earlier, hitting's contagious. The last couple of weeks we've hit a lot better than we started out. And then we've got to improve our defense. So.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the offensive side of the ball. If people are just glancing at the scores, and they see that you guys have scored double-digit runs. I believe it's 4 over the last 6 games. They're probably setting back going, well, in this day and age, they're living by the long ball. But the fact of the matter is you guys have only hit 5 home runs during that span, but you have piled up double-digit hit games. Talk a little bit about your hitting philosophy and why you like that style.
Well, we've always been try to have a well-rounded offense, and we believe in get them on, get them over, and get them in. It's kind of our philosophy. And we love three-run homers. Everybody does, but there's a lot of days you're playing and the wind's blowing in, or it's 34 degrees and the ball's not carrying. So we really preach going gap to gap and hitting line drives. And this day and age, there's all this launch angle and stuff you see these major league guys doing, and these new wave hitting gurus, and I just don't believe in it. I still believe in bunting and hitting and running and advancing runners over and having quality at bats. You'll see our guys give each other a high five. We have a guy on second base with no outs, and we hit a ground ball to the second baseman and move the runner to third. It's like an RBI to our guys. It's a great team at bat. And again, our guys are buying into our approach and our philosophy and what we want to do, and it's starting to pay dividends for us.
I know about the bunting. You and I actually had some conversations on social media last year during the World Series. You were begging for the Dodgers to bunt. But while you say that about the new wave approach to hitting, you do pick up some of that. I noticed the other day, righties on the mound, you stacked the lineup at the top with nothing but lefties.
I do believe in matchups, but I believe in that, Southwestern's Friday starter, Cantwell, has a really good slider, and so sliders can be really tough on right-handers. So I thought if we stacked the lineup with left-handers, which we're fortunate to have guys that we can run out there right or left-handed, we're kind of well balanced. And so we've started the last couple of weeks kind of playing some matchups with our lineups, just because we have so many guys that we think can contribute, and that keeps them all in the game. If they know a left-hander's coming in, we can switch guys in at a couple different spots that go with a right-hander. If they're throwing a right-hander, we go with left-handers. So we're lucky enough to have hitters on both sides, and we're going to continue to play the matchups and just, like I said, try to get them on, get them over, and get them in.
Well, and talk about that, though, a little bit. I mean, people have followed Southeastern baseball over the years. You look at the roster you guys have assembled, it's a much larger roster than perhaps in years past, certainly back whenever I was in college here. Talk about the importance of having that flexibility to keep those guys engaged. I mean, whenever you're at this level, obviously you want to play.
Yeah, it's important. It's really important to keep them engaged, but it's also important to get the right kind of student athlete in here that believes in team and winning, and that winning is more important than individual stats. And it's hard sometimes. Everybody we get was their high school's best player or a really good junior college player. Nobody wants to come and sit, but I think we've kind of created a culture, we're establishing one where everybody knows they're going to contribute at one point or another. And our deal is we tell them every day, be the best version of yourself in whatever role that is today, whether it's hitting 3-hole and playing center field, or if it's coming off the bench to pinch hit later on, or coming out of the bullpen. Just be the best version of yourself to help the team win today in whatever role that means. And so our guys, again, are buying into that, and you can kind of see it. You can see when our guys do the little things that help us win, the dugout, high-five them when they come in, and it's very rewarding as a coach, and it's exciting to see those guys buy into the team atmosphere, and it produces wins, and that's what we're trying to do.
Now, this week you go on the road, and technically you go on the road for the first time since that Oklahoma Baptist series got moved here to Durant. You take on an Arkansas Tech squad that's fresh off of a sweep against a pretty decent Henderson State squad, at least historically. Tell us a little bit about what we need to know about the Wonder Boys going into this weekend's conference matchup.
Well, they're preseason picked pretty high in the conference, and I think I picked them second because they have a lot of guys coming back. Coach Dawson does a good job over there. They're very athletic. They play the game hard and do it the right way, and so it's going to be very challenging, especially going to their place. But, we can't, we don't try not to worry about who's in the other dugout. I think if we take care of and do the things that we're capable of doing, we can compete and beat anybody in the country. And I think there's days that we've shown when we don't do the things we're capable of, that anybody can beat us. So they're having a good year. I think they're 5-1 in conference after 2 series, and so. Again, we're just trying to go and win a series, and it'll be a good challenge for us. And if our pitching continues to do like it's been doing and we can improve our defense a little bit, I like our chances.
Of course, the Storm have won their first 2 conference series of the year. They're winners of 5 of their last 7. Coach Zach Crabtree, everyone, Coach, as always, appreciate the time. Good luck this weekend in Russellville.
Thank you, sir, and go Storm.
Of course, coming up, more Southeastern sports right here on the Southeastern Sports Network.